What's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It is the 27th of October. It's 2019, and this was the sky in New England yesterday. That would be them knitting in the sky. They're literally laying out a grid in the sky to completely and totally obliterate the sun. So, as crazy as that looks, because I mean, look at that. It doesn't even look real, but nobody notices it. It's no big deal. It's just floating along. Meanwhile, I've got numerous cameras pointed at the sky the entire time. I spent all day videotaping this stuff yesterday. And I believe I caught a strange anomaly. I've been looking at it all night and all day, and finally I decided to hit the button and make this video. So here we go. Here they are, spraying away, just blowing it up in the sky. Notice the inconsistencies. If this was actually condensation coming out of an airplane, it wouldn't be stuttered because that means the plane was having issues with the engines, but it's not. It's them spraying in the sky. We know they do it. They told us they do it. It's just no big deal. The problem is they are exponentially dropping the temperature and filling the atmosphere with nanoparticulates to the point where people might want to stand up and take notice because this is really, really bad. I mean, this is Forbes magazine. This is old news. This is from 2018, where China is launching weather control machines across the area the size of Alaska. I find it strange that they happen to use Alaska as a phrase, because what is Alaska best known for to people like ourselves? Exactly. The High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HARP. You've been hearing about this for years. I've been harping about this for years. It's located in Alaska, but it's no big deal, ladies and gentlemen, because they shut it down. Nobody uses it anymore. It's just for college studies, and it's just fun and games. It's no big deal. You should jump over to their Facebook page and give it a like. You know what I mean? It's all good. It's nothing. Well, it's true. They no longer need this enormous array of antennas in Alaska because they've done something better, and they're all around you, me, and everyone we know. That's right, you guessed it, Doppler radar. These things, in conjunction with 5G towers, in conjunction with cell phone towers, these things are absolutely all around us at all times. Ron Johnson from Stranger Than Fiction YouTube channel, I don't know if he's still up or not, I'm not sure, is what it is. But he was one of the first people to actually catch these guys steering a storm live while it happened. And I can't find that video, but I found this one on Climate Viewer News. I don't use this page. I remember when this first came out. I just find it really, really strange that this guy right here, Jim Lee, that came up with this website, used this as above, so below terminology or symbolism with the all-seeing eye in the middle, and he keeps referring to the Earth as a planet when it's not whatsoever at all. But he's showing in this video, I believe, how Doppler radar was pushing storms. What they do is they light them all up at the same time. I have no clue why this isn't playing. Maybe because I just said those harsh words. Who knows? At any rate, Doppler radar, they use them all in conjunction with the nanoparticulates that are in the sky. You know, these ones that they spray up there every day. Barium, strontium, aluminum, and whatever else is up there. But you use those in conjunction with these, and you can push a storm. Every other country talks about it. It's not a big deal. In the United States, they deny it, but then they don't. You see what I'm saying? Harvard came out in 2017. I made a video, I explained it to everybody, and I played you this beautiful piano music informational video that they put out here, and it basically tells you everything you need to know, except they're acting as though they're not doing it now when they've been doing it for time immemorial. I don't know how long they've been spraying the skies. People like to say it goes all the way back to the early 1900s when they were seeding the skies with silver iodine. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about seeding the skies. When they're showing you this right here, they're telling you that the factories, the Doppler radars, the chemtrailing, it all works together in tandem. We've seen them lighting up these facilities right before a storm and filling the sky just like that. We've also shown you places like NASA. You see this big giant machine? This belongs to NASA. And now they're telling you they're testing a machine, but that's not accurate because they're not testing a jet engine to go to space. Because unlike everyone else, NASA damn well knows they're not going to space. Do you see what this machine's doing? It's literally making a cloud. They call it the cloud machine. So you use the airplane spraying in the sky. You use the ships that are out at sea, because yes, they're also out at sea. You use the land-based Doppler radars. You use the NASA cloud machines, and you completely and totally control the weather. They've wanted to control the weather forever. It's the ultimate weapon. But sadly, here in America, even though you show these people all this information coming from magazines and places, outlets that they're supposed to trust, they still don't understand it. They still don't understand it. A YouTube channel called Even at the Doors put out a video. He hasn't put out a video in a very long time, and it was called Geoengineering. And it's a very long video. But sadly, for whatever reason, it deteriorated into a Black History video and stopped talking about geoengineering. So I was pretty disconcerted. At any rate, this is part of the video right here, and he goes back to the history of how long ago they've been talking about wanting to own and use the weather as a weapon. Well, that time has come. They are using the weather as a weapon. I can't show you the paperwork over and over without you rolling your eyes because I show it all the time. But this is old news. I'd like to use some of this, but it's just, I don't know what's happened to this YouTube channel, but suddenly he believes in NASA, he believes in politics, and he believes in outer space. Those are three things that you can spend one day researching before you make a 2-hour video and understand that none of those things are real whatsoever at all. But at any rate, back to the video that I took and what it is I believe I've caught. Now let me refresh your memory. This is a YouTube channel called Sinister Saint, and he is on the same track that I started on so very long ago. I showed you the patents that go back to the 60s, where these guys wanted to build a sun simulator. Now, I put the video out, I think back in 2012, 2013. The video is still up. You can look it up. It's in a playlist called Sun Simulators. Look it up. You should. Because it's important. The only reason that I kind of don't talk about the topic very often is if there's a sun simulator in the sky, if the reason that we're seeing this white hot object in the sky that looks exactly like all of these patents that they've shown us over the years, all the patents that we've dug up, and all the things they've showed us in Boeing commercials, etc. I mean, look at this. This is a commercial from Boeing. I showed you this years ago. They show you these ridiculous spaceships. They show you these ludicrous space elevators, things that are just absolutely fantastical and nonsensical and would never work in a real world. But this is the one thing that they showed, and I showed you this a long time ago. You see this right here? You see this item right here? It's a satellite. All right, why does he keep doing that? That's annoying. It's a satellite that's literally reflecting the sun. They call it the solar simulator, the solar satellite, but it's reflecting the sun. Here, let me break this down a little bit so you can see it better. Sorry about that. Stand by. They're showing you this. You see that? Here's the sun. The sun's rays are bouncing off this and then coming back down to space. Does that look familiar? Well, I believe I videotaped it yesterday. And I believe I answered my own question, is if this is a solar simulator, which it really appears to be, just from the reflections and from the shapes that it gives off. I'm well versed in what lens flares are, and I have a method. A lot of YouTube channels like to show you straight up lens flares and tell you, see that item right there? That's Nibiru. It's right there. That's Mars. That's this. That's that. That's the other thing. That is a lens flare. It's pretty easy to do. So this was time-lapse footage that I did. And it keeps going. I mean, look at the sky. Look at this stuff. It's obviously a solar shield in place right now. Now watch this. Keep your eye on the sun. Notice how many different ways it distorts and turns into different shapes, right? It's clearly smaller. The shield in front of it makes it appear larger, and then it shows its actual size. Stand by. And let me just show you. This giant mess, this is live, this isn't time-lapse. This giant mess is only in front of the sun. I'm going to turn the camera around. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, look at this, look at this. You turn the camera, and just like every other time, the sky behind is blue. This stuff is only in front of the path of the sun. every single solitary time. But watch these reflections. This is what gave me a problem. Do you see this little fella right here? This is a video. This is a straight up video. There's no time lapse. There's no nothing. This is a video, and it's all moving. You see it? It's slowly moving. Notice the reflections. But do you see this guy? The camera's not moving. I'm zooming in now. That's it. This kept catching my eye. So I kept watching it. I kept watching it. I kept watching it. Here we go. More airplanes. And as this moved down, this moved up. So you see what I'm saying? You see that little guy right there? Notice all these other lens flares are staying exactly in the same place, correct? This is still a video. This is a video. I'm moving it along quicker. Also, take notice of this strange shape. You see that? That strange hexagon shape? Okay, let me remind you. This is a video I put up in 2016, September 1st, 2016. And this is their patent, Bausch & Lomb and NASA. And this is the solar simulator. Where is it? Son of a... Stand by. This is their patent. Do you see this? This is how they would do it. This is the shape that it would produce. Do you see? There's a round shape. Do you see that exact shape right there? Do you see this? Right there? At any rate, back to the moving object. My problem with the entire situation is, where is our sun? If this solar simulator, this white hot light that burns your skin even though the air temperature is only 60, it doesn't make any sense. Usually when the sun's hot enough to burn your skin, it's usually 75, 85 degrees out. That's not the case anymore. But do you see this? And then this. Yes, there's multiple things going on here, so stay with me. This are all the same. So what I did is I got out another camera. Let me see if this is the right one. I mean, this is just like, this is insanity stuff right here. Totally insane that those are our skies. Okay, let me see if this is when I got the camera out. Well, here's another one. Here's another one. There's the sun. Let me see if this was a video. No, this was time-lapse also. But do you see this? Just chilling right there. Look familiar? Does that look exactly like that? Or am I mean, really? Really? So check this out. Once I spotted that thing through the camera, which you can still see right there, the small orb, or what could be the missing sun, I got another camera and I videotaped right over the top of the Nikon P1000. So there's the P1000, and I'm videotaping with the other camera. So if I can try to catch it, and I did, but it's very fleeting, but you can see it coming right over the top. Now, bear in mind, I'm trying to videotape this, but I'm looking directly at the sun, so it was tough to see what I was actually videotaping. But you can see that the other sun is right there. So, long story short, this is the solar simulator. Our sun is apparently smaller, or I don't even know what the deal is. Maybe it was always that small, we just can't tell. But you could see it right over the top of the solar simulator, I believe. And that's a compressor in my truck. How crazy is this? How crazy is this? You can see the other item clearly right there. Now, if it wasn't a lens, if it was a lens flare, how am I seeing it live and videotaping it with two cameras at once? To answer that question before people ask. Do you see what I'm saying? And another strange thing about all this is on days like this, they always chemtrail in a fashion like you would knit a blanket. They'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they'll start doing the other ones that go sideways, which is exactly what they did do. And the other strange thing about this is those trails always cast a shadow. which is what got my attention in the first place. Because before they started spraying really bad, that's the back of my truck. Sorry about that. Before they started spraying really bad, I noticed that these guys were casting a dark shadow. Some people like to think that they're, or you can see it right, watch this, right here. Some people like to think that the airplanes are following a secret laser. It's just that whatever's in these clouds is so dense that it casts a shadow because the sun or the sun simulator is behind it. Did this video make sense? Listen, I've been looking at this since 5 o'clock yesterday. The video's finally up. I think there's more than enough evidence here to figure it out. Certain days they need to block something because there's something in the way, and that's all there is to it. How surreal is this? Look how low these are. It's just incredible. And whatever this stuff is, it's impervious to sunlight. If this was simply water condensation, they're spraying it directly in front of the hot sun that I can feel standing on Earth. So it would melt, but it doesn't. This is our new reality. Nobody seems to care. They've come out every which way possible to tell you that they're doing it, and nobody seems to care. So there's that. At any rate, Richie from Boston. Like, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm out.